Hey folks, Quill18 here, and welcome to another episode of Let's Play Hearthstone. And in this episode, we're going to look at deck construction for the very first time. Although, before we jump right into that, we're going to take a look at what the crafting mode is. There's a little shaky bottle over here, and the reason is, I don't know if we can find a good example. It's because we have a maximum number of cards. Well, I guess we can just go here, and it'll probably highlight whatever we have too many of, right? Like some of these neutrals, is that true? I'm not sure that I'm reading this right, because I'm not getting this wrong, am I? Actually, I should confer with the chat to make sure here. Like here we've got 4. What is the max? Well, let's find out. Let's we can't make a priest deck because we don't have that unlocked. Do we have, in our Druid, do we have anything where we have way too many? It'll tell us. Two cards. Okay, that's what I thought. So, if we go here in our Starfall, we have 3. So we can drag 1,
Tap near the edge
2,
of the page to flip through your
and now it's locked. Deck limit of 2. I can't put any more. So I can safely dispose of my extra Starfall by going into the crafting mode. Now, so like this. Now it does let you craft things. Oh, here we go. I was gonna say there's an easy button for it, isn't there? There we go. Disenchant extra cards. So all my extra cards will be disenchanted into dust. And that's it. Because there might be trading options. Wow, nice, you know, real name modes of all the people I play StarCraft with or whatever. I don't think there's... I'm not sure. Anyway, we're just going to disenchant this stuff for now. We're going to find out what we can do with this. So you get you get very little dust from each common, right? I'm disenchanting 31 commons and getting 155. So I guess that's 5 dust per common. Whereas the rares, I'm getting 20 dust per. Sounds good to me. You can't have more than 2 copies of each card in your deck, or more than 1 of each legendary, so you may as well disenchant the extras and turn them into arcane dust. And that's it. I don't think there's trading at this time. No trading yet. There might be later, but for now, and I like the idea of just, and I think this is their replacement to trading, because normally if you get extra cards, you have to trade them away to hopefully get what you want. But it takes time. You got to find the right person with the right card and hope that they have something that you want or this or that. And without some sort of neutral currency, it's a pain in the ass. Magic the Gathering Online gets around some of that by the fact that there are these things called tournament tickets that you need to, well, get into tournaments among other things. And so a lot of people will trade the tournament tickets. They'll say, oh, well, 5 tournament tickets for this card. And then you can sort of, so you've got a method of currency in there. So Blizzard could have done the arcane dust and may do the arcane dust as a currency, but this works perfectly well. So let's disenchant this. Yay! And then what do you do with the dust? Well, if I... Get out... No. Not the mode. Oh, I still have to be in crafting mode. Right, so I don't have some of these spells. I don't have a naturalize. So if I need one, if I decide I would really like that ability to destroy a minion, give the opponent 2 cards, but destroy a minion, I could create one of these by spending 40 dust. Or, see, if I hadn't gone disenchant all, like I can still look at it here, right? So I've got the power of the wild. So I don't care about this spell. I can click on this, I can disenchant one for 5 to get 5 dust back, or I could create one for 40, right? It didn't give me the option here, I think, because I already had 2. Like this Wrath spell, see, I can disenchant her for 5 or create one for 40. So this gives you get rid of all the crap you don't need, and then the stuff you really could use, then you can pick them up. Savagery will be a lot more. It'll be 20 dust to... sorry, 100 dust to create, yeah, because it's a rare. I'm just going to say 20. Isn't that what I get for disenchanting? There you go. 100 dust to create this. You deal damage equal to your hero's attack to a minion. That's interesting. That doesn't actually require me to actually do the attack. I guess it combos nicely with something like Bite. +4 attack, +4 armor. So I'm not going to go and spend my dust at this point. I'm going to save it there because at this point I don't know what cards are good. I mean, ideally I would like 2 of all cards, but for now we'll make do without. All right, so there is a really cool ability here. If I'm creating this deck, I could ask it to suggest a card for me,
I can help
and
you
it'll
with
tell
that.
me why.
Here are
So
some suggestions.
let's start by adding some class-specific cards. Yeah, that sounds right. And it suggests use one of these. And you know what? Let's go through it this way because, frankly, well, these are all cards I want. I said, oh, I really like Starfall. Let's put that in. Okay, let's put in some more. And I did like that the first cards it showed, a lot of them were quite pricey. And I put in a more pricey one, and maybe now it's showing me cheaper stuff. All right, let's put in Innervate. All right, and Wild Growth, I like that a lot. Get some actual mana crystals, so you accelerate your mana curve that way. And, you know, and so on and so forth. And then it's going to keep going through class-specific cards for a while. Picking stuff at random. There you go. And then it's like, it's detecting some fault in your deck. Well, and I could get, can I get a stat breakdown anyway? I think there's a way to get it. But it's saying, like, yeah, these are pretty expensive, right? 5, 5, 4, 3, 2, 2, 2. There's a 0, but there are no 1s yet. Here's a bunch of 1s that might be good. They're not class-specific. Fill up on class-specific ones, and then fill in the gaps maybe with some of these neutral ones. So yeah, let's, well, there's no point in having the secret, because I don't know if the Druid's got any secrets. Destroy a Murloc. I don't know, we'll go for Abusive Sergeant. And then, obviously, we want the Angry Chicken. And, yeah, we'll put in a Boar. Oh, you want some cards that cost 3 mana. That's true, I only have 2 of them, but that cost 3 mana. Yeah, let's get some Flesh-Eating Ghouls. And then some things that cost 4, and some things that cost 6. Let's go and get Mechatork since we can. Since we got that for being in the beta. And then, yeah, something brutal. Let's get Baron Geddon in there. Oh, maybe a few more minions. Sure, that sounds fine. A few more minions. There, looks good. Maybe a few more cards to finish it off. Sure. So, and what's interesting is you can do this at any point, right? You can build 90% of your deck, what you want, and then be like, what should I add next? And then click the button. How do I just, like, reset this whole deck? Is this really the easiest way to do it? Well, actually, that's pretty damn fast, to be honest. So that is very cool if you're new to these sorts of things. Close the suggest things, mouse over your class icon for the breakdown. Ah, thank you. Yeah, I would have gotten all my info there. It also tells me what my ability is. This is shapeshift power. So, yeah, so I got my Druid cards and my neutral stuff. Oh, and I can just click on... Oh, okay. It gives me the turn paging effect. The turn paging effect. The page turning effect, even though it's not going anywhere. All right. So what kind of logic are we going to put in here? So there's a few different ways to build decks, and this applies to all CCGs. Sometimes it's just about choosing just a general set of really high quality cards, and just playing that. Other times it's trying to find interesting combinations that really work together. And I felt like we saw a lot of that when we were thinking about different ways to combine maybe healing. So if I was doing a priest deck, there might be some specific mechanics there I want to look at. I feel like with the Druid, right off the top of my memory, there's less things that sort of stand out. I have both a gold version of the Power of the Wild and 2 of these, but I can't put... So I should actually disenchant one of these. It's interesting that it didn't auto-disenchant it. Show old... What's the difference with the golden card? Oh, it disenchants for a lot more. Well, see, that's tough because gold cards look cool. I love the fact that they're animated. So gold cards have this sort of EP factor, right? But they don't give you anything special. So I could disenchant this thing and get 50 dust for it, which is 10 times more than I would get from this non-gold version. They're exactly the same as one another. But they have animations, exactly, and that's so cool. I'm not going to disenchant them now, but I foresee in the future I will probably disenchant all gold cards. And then at some point my whole card set will fill up. I'll have everything and then be like, damn it, I wish I still had all the gold things. Because that's how it goes. Anyway, let's see, what do we have that's like real fatties? Do we have a lot of real fatties? It's too bad I can't mouse wheel through this. In the Druid specific deck, not that many, although we do have Starfire. We have a bunch of things that are 5 and 4. Because what I'm thinking is this. Let's go double Wild Growth. Maybe a couple of Innervates, sorry. 2 totally separate spells. To accelerate our mana curve as much as possible. And then, yeah, Starfire, 5 damage, draw a card. Let's see. I don't know if it's feasible or not. We're gonna just have to test it and see how it goes. Druid of the Claw, Starfall. Nourish is like even more fattiness. Or draw 3 cards, actually. The 3 cards is quite good. I feel if I can cast something that costs 5, I'll probably go for the cards, unless I'm innervating it. Imagine turn 1, 1 mana crystal for free, double innervate, Nourish. I mean, obviously that requires a very specific draw, but it could happen. We had a crazy draw the last time we played. Keeper of the Grove. Sure, Mark of Nature. So we've got a pretty expensive deck here. And if we clicked on the suggest, he'd probably tell me to start putting in cheaper stuff. I don't know. Healing Touch, yeah, that's a lot of health. I'm not convinced. Wrath I really like, and I wish I had 2. Let's craft one. I'm probably get one at some point, but I don't have it now. And I'm building a deck now, so let's create 1 Wrath. The talk around the Ratchet Inn is that this card is too good and should be a legendary. I have to assume this is a half-decent card. Might be a waste of dust, but it might not be. It does give you a chance to undo, which is very nice. Nice effect, too, on the crafting. Very cool. Alright, we get a little bit more removal. Of course, we'll use the gold power of the wild, and then the regular one. Minion taunt and +2/+2. It's pretty good, although we may be light on minions. We're going to have to go into our extra stuff soon enough. May as well grab the claws. We don't have much in the way of weapons. Alright, I've almost certainly like completely overblown my card budget way, way too much and underblown my my units. Interesting suggestion that it does still put in the Healing Touch. I do like this battle cry of the Shattered Sun Cleric. And I think I want a little bit more 1 casting cost. Well, you know what we need. Right, it's not even a question. We clearly need Baron-Geddon. Right? Obviously. Stormwind Champion. Now let's put in Mechatork just because, you know, we have to play with him, right? Because that's the way it goes. +1 spell damage, interesting. Minions cost 3 more. Might, because again, I'm saying I'm a little, I feel like I'm light on minions. I don't have a stat breakdown of that. I have a lot of spells. I mean, these count as minions, which can help. I'm probably way too light on minions, but it does open up the possibility of using stuff like that. And then we can buff it with some of our spells. Sure, we'll put 1 in. What the hell? Angry Chicken. Divine Shield does just like buy you some time by soaking 1 full of tack. If my goal is to delay until I can get Baron-Geddon out, that does tie into that. Although, you know what? I'm playing a Druid, an Elven Druid at that. Let's put in some Elven Archers, just for theme. Fucking Murlocs. So, as I was saying, there's combos, and I'm not really feeling like there's much of a combo here in the Druid deck, but what we could do is flip it around after this and go and look at the Mage deck and talk about the freezing combinations and focus on that, and build Secret Keepers in there, for example. It can be secrets and freezing. Although we might have to build another Secret Keeper. I don't have weapons, so I'm not going to go for that. But, oh yeah, I could put in, oh no, that weapon is warrior only, that's true. I don't think the Leopard Gnome is a good pick. Whenever a character is healed. Definitely got some weird potential there. Generic Murlocs. Maybe we do have enough to make a Murloc-oriented deck. We'll take a look at that after. We'll make a Mage deck, and we'll make a Murloc deck. Well, technically the Murloc can go with anyone, because they're all neutral creatures. So Wind Fury with the double attack, because we could go round 1 Young Dragonhawk, round 2 Power of the Wild to give it +1/+1. Now it's a 2/2 with Wind Fury, so it's going to hit for 4 damage. Well, it's not 4 damage, it's just it can attack twice each turn. So, I mean, if it does get hosed by taunt quite a bit, because it's like, oh, attack taunt creature twice and then die. But, I mean, it's still worth something. Hell, we might want to have a Swamp Ooze in here just to defend ourselves against weapons. Just hope to top deck it. Oh, we do have Murlocs here as well. I think maybe... Now, we don't have enough minions, I think, to make the wolves, but I was going to say thematically with the Druid thing. Let's see it. A couple of cheaper plays, and then what do you suggest? Like, yeah, 3 mana. No, not pirates. Charge Battlecry gives them a mana crystal. This guy's not very good to buff. Oh, we don't have anything with taunt, do we? We don't have anything with taunt. We don't have anything that heals. And oh, this gives a minion taunt. We only have the 1 Mark of the Wild, though. Really? Is that true? There we go. 2. Now, how reliable is that? And, oh, the Druids of the Clock can come in with taunt. And actually, we have another thing that can give taunt. No, we've got lots of taunt kicking around. Lots. I don't know what you guys are worrying about. God. The Engineers. Suggest me a card. Whenever you play a card, gain +1/+1. Oh yeah, and the Demolisher. You know what? I like the Demolisher. Let's put it in there. There's probably a bunch of stuff I said would need to put in there. This is the Super Noob Druid deck. There. Oh, resizes the font. Beautiful. What? Oh, it's the little things that make these Blizzard games just so high freaking quality. No matter what else you think about it, like resizing the font to fit. Can I search for something like taunt? Does that work? Oh, good God, it does too. Oh, right, and you can filter by set. But we want all sets. Because some cards are like the expert level things and some things are simple level things. That is the crappiest mana curve I've ever seen. And I'm convinced all are like, oh, I'll get lots of mana crystal things. You know what? I don't have that much expensive stuff. In fact, I have a lot of really too cheap stuff. You know, with the Innervates, I actually have a lot of first turn plays. Either I'm going to draw something that only costs 1, or I'll get the Innervates. So I'll be okay there. I've got probably too many 2 casting cost things. Yeah, it might be okay. And we certainly have a dearth of things. Dearth? Of things at 3 and 4. So let's take a look at what we might put in there. Murlocs. All Murlocs all the time. See, the Panthers, again, thematically might work really well. Thematically. You gotta roleplay these decks, obviously. I mean, I can put taunt on anything, but ideally I would want to... You know, if I give something... I got some things that can give +1/+1, or bonus health to a dude, which makes it much more likely that the Enrage on the Tauren Warriors is going to trigger. I don't think I'm wrong about that. Tauren Warrior plus... Mark of Nature to give him +4 health. Yeah, he's already got taunt. But then he's got 7 health. That's a lot of, like, he can take a hit, he'll get enraged, and start whooping ass like crazy. Or you go for someone like the Thrallmar Farseer, give him huge bonus attack, and then he can go to town beating people up. Hell, even with just, if I give him the bonus to health and taunt, that still means he can go around and attack a couple of minions every round with Wind Fury, kick up a lot of ass, and still have a lot of hit points left over. Either way is viable. But I can also look at the forecasting costs. You know what? Let's go with one of each. Done. Alright, so that's one idea for the Druid deck. Let's take a look at a Mage deck. John of Proudmoore. We want freeze-oriented things. So let's do a quick search for anything with freeze and then frozen. So the Ice Lance. Freeze is something which, you know, it's a card for something that doesn't really give you any card advantage, but it can do 4 damage for 1 mana, which is not bad. And then you can combo it with well, I don't know if that's much of a combo with Frostbolt, since that starts to be a lot of damage altogether. But theoretically, you can spend 3 mana and do 7 damage to something, even though it costs you 2 cards. Cone of Cold, I think, is a no-brainer. Blizzard is a no-brainer. We've got a great combination of numbers there. And I think Frozen. Okay, only 1 keyword for that. Alright, so we've got our Cold combo in there, which is great. Now what else? Well, we're obviously casting a lot of spells. So what do we have that does things... Oh, that did not help at all. Maybe cast? So we've got Mana Worm, which can grow when you cast a spell. Oh, and of course we want our secrets. Everything that involves a secret. Oh, I should be checking the neutral as well. Right, because I don't think we just want 1 secret, although it might be okay. But overload people with secrets, and they never know what your secret is going to be. And then a secret keeper. In fact, let's go ahead and get our second secret keeper. Oh, it's a rare. That's why. We only have 1. That's a lot of dust to spend on something that I'm not sure is necessarily super awesome. Maybe we'll hold off on that. I did want to look at the neutrals. This all sets button overlaps the little X to cancel out of the search, which is really not good. What do I want to look at? Frozen in the neutrals, but they don't have anything. Or freeze in the neutrals. Yeah, nothing. It's just a mage only thing. Alright. Still haven't identified all the new stuff yet. Oops. There's another one there. Okay. So should we do Murlocs now? Because they're cold-blooded? We'll probably want to come back and fill in a few of these, but let's see how many Murlocs we can get. I'm sure mages don't have any Murlocs. No, but the neutrals do. So, oh, we only have 1 Hungry Crab. Oh, they're rare. Although that's alright. Hungry Crab to eat the Murlocs. More generic Murlocs. They're cheap, they do stuff. Summon more Murlocs. And yeah, these stupid Cold Light Oracles, we may as well put them in, we've got them. And now we've got a deck that is cheap as hell. I don't think it's any good. It's very inexpensive. What we need is some more pricey stuff to fill in. Let's look at the high-end mage stuff. There's not that much. Oh, polymorphs are good. And fireballs are pretty good. Did it not put in the vaporizes? Okay, we're gonna have too many cards, but that's... Oh, it doesn't let us go over the limit at any point. Oh. We don't need Mirror Entity. Because we don't need their creatures, we have Murlocs. And a couple of polymorphs. Okay. We've got nothing that costs 0, but that's okay. We've got a fair number of cheap things. We don't have anything really expensive. We could still throw in a Baron Geddon. Murlocs plus Baron Geddon just because we can, right? Archmages, Sorcerer Apprentices, you're right. Those would be pretty damn sweet. Well, I don't think I've got an Archmage. Oh, here. Yeah, bonus spell damage. Good high-end stuff. I wish it would let us go over 30 and then force us to trim back afterwards, because I like doing that. Put in like too many things and then trim back from there. I mean, really what I should do is take out the Murlocs. Let's be honest. We should remove the Murloc mechanic. In fact, we may just have too many Murlocs. Like, we may not need quite as many for whatever. I mean, the Grimscale Oracle is obviously very cool. And the Hunger Crab, I want that. We could get rid of the Murloc Raiders. We have too many level 1 plays. You know what? We'll get rid of the Murloc Raiders. There. We'll keep the ones with charge. And the ones that summon even more Murlocs, because why not? And I feel like I need to get rid of the Cold Light Oracles just because... Although we do have a lot of cheap stuff. So frankly, this might help us more than anything else. We've also got a fair number of things that deal damage to more than one thing, like Cone of Cold and Blizzard. And also if we have Arcane Explosion. Then the fact that they draw more cards and maybe can put out more weenies doesn't matter if we just sit around and AoE the crap out of them. I don't like not running Arcane Intellect. I don't like the fact that I don't have the Sorcerer's Apprentice in there, because I think they're awesome, because this is such a spell-heavy thing. I don't think Mage plus Murloc works at all. I'm sorry, guys. I think we need to get rid of the Murlocs. I'm really sorry. Which means the Hungry Crab, Bluegill Warriors, Tide Hunters, Oracles. Now we get Arcane Intellect, Sorcerer's Apprentice. We can put in the Arcane Missiles. And again, that's more just like splattering little things. Although, now we get rid of the Oracles, so we don't worry about them spamming out too many things anymore. And maybe we do want to go back to having a Mirror Entity. Just steal their good stuff. Especially if we're casting this later on, when everyone's got more mana kicking around, then you could potentially steal something really big. We have a lot of secrets, they're not going to be able to predict it. But, let's go ahead and put in the Archmage. And some things with Taunt. Like Abominations, which will detonate, killing all their squishies, and taunting in the meantime. Right, the spell damage. $1 mages. It's too bad the Wild Pyromancer kills himself. Just go pure spell damage deck? I'm not sure that that's a brilliant way to go. I am gonna go for the 2 Abominations. Actually, go back to Baron Geddon. But without Taunt, he's just gonna die. There. We just need something to save us a little bit at the end. I'm not convinced these are good decks. I don't feel like they're... I feel like it's gonna be light on Taunt. I think the Druid one might be okay. I think... I don't know what I think. Oh, you just want to look at them. Yeah, so things that add spell damage. So yeah, there's the $1 mages, the Cobalt Geomancers. There's actually quite a bit of it. The one thing is, I don't have that much that necessarily attacks enemy. Well, this is any character, so I guess you can't even freeze enemy heroes. So I guess I can Frostbolt and Ice Lance the heroes as well. Maybe there does start to be quite a lot of direct damage at that point. What if we take out the secrets mechanic? Which I still like the secrets, just out of curiosity. What can we pile in there? Dalaran Mage is pretty tough. The Kobold Geomancers are squishy, but the Dalaran Mages and the Ogre Magi are pretty tough. They can actually survive an Abomination going off. Still like the idea of throwing them in there. So are the Archmages. They don't have Taunt naturally, is the biggest downfall. Well, let's come back to the taunt. No, I don't know. We're not going to kill anyone with our creatures. Let's throw them in and call that enough. Let's go back to the mages. So, anything that deals damage. And we may as well throw in the Mana Worm. Yeah, we're going to fill up too fast. Still like the idea of the counterspell, if nothing else, because just like countering a spell, as opposed to just like any random minion, spell counter has got to be pretty strong, right? And obviously we want big, powerful fireballs. And I would like the blizzards. I can only fit one in as is. Frankly, I'm not convinced that my spells are that expensive that I need the Sorcerer's Apprentices. I might be wrong, though. And I don't have anything that lets me really draw a lot more cards faster, because that's one of the things. It'd be nice if I could have, like, dirt cheap spells, but draw more. It might be okay. And that's just the one Blizzard. No polymorphs. But a lot of direct damage. Like, polymorph is great removal for, like, big fatties. But other than that, frankly, the direct damage is almost going to be a better, more cost-effective kind of stuff. And yes, you're right, the Apprentice is still a 3-2 for 2. That is very, very true. A solid early play. He does get blown up by the Abomination. But we'll give this a try, you know what? We'll call it, so this will be the spell damage deck. Alright. So I'm going to say that that brings us to a conclusion for deck construction. We'll certainly look at more deck construction in the future when I get more cards and know what I'm doing, and you know, potentially unlock all the classes, and we'll see how that goes. Let's just clear up all these new card tokens so that we know later on what we actually get that's new. And right now, the classes, other than the ones that I've unlocked, are not really playable because I didn't get a bunch of free base cards through them. There we have it. So I'm going to do that, and now what I'm going to do is I'm going to put another cut, and we will play a real game against a real person and see exactly how badly I have constructed the deck. See you next time, folks. Bye-bye.